Hi everyone. For the last assignment, I decided to make a pair of gloves for this winter. And my friend told me to get the yarn from the Lion brand yarn. I picked one that called Lion Cashmere Blend Yarn, Softness and Touchability, Medium Worsted Weight, Afghan Aran Yarn. Is 72% merino wool, 15% nylon, 13% cashmere. And I got the pattern from the store also. So the first thing that I have to learn about is the gauge. The gauge is the number of the stitches in a given length. For example, if you knit 17 stitches with 25 rows in 4 square inches with the size 8 needles, stitches and 25 rows to create 4 inches square inches from this yarn and these needles. And this is the yarn, and it's 10 ply yarn from the, and I learned this knitting from YouTube. First thing is to make a slip knot. It's difficult to see because it's dark and my yarn is navy blue, and I put it into the needle, pull it tightly, and then I'm starting to create a stitch. So the slip knot you count is the first stitch, and this is, I did the second one. Now I have 2 stitches, and all I have to make is 24 stitches. I decided to extend it into 26 stitches. I'm gonna use ribbing around the wrist area. So this 26 stitches gonna go around your wrist. I use 26 stitches, and the first row I'm gonna start with the pearl. This is my first time knitting. So it's gonna look a little bit awkward. So I just have to do this until I finish one row. Repeat the same thing. And then move the yarn to the back and then start regular knitting. For 2 stitches and keep repeating. For this wrist, I have to repeat the knit purl, knit purl. Now I got my ribbing. You can see the volume here. I won't get the same gauge with the regular knitting because this is the ribbing and it will get smaller, but it can be very stretchy. Sorry. Here. And after I finish, this is the wrist part. It will go here. Here. So I will start the gloves part. So I'm just gonna use the regular knitting. Now I have the ribbing and around 8 rows of the knitting. Now I have 21 row of ribbing, and from this part here to here is 30 row of knitting, just regular knitting. And now I have the length that I want, so I'm gonna bind off this knitting. So I'm just gonna do 2 stitches of regular knitting. 1, 2, and then I pull the first one over the second one, reduce it to one stitch, and I do one more regular stitch and take the first one, the one that inside, pull it over the second one, and I keep doing this until I close everything off. So now I'm almost done with my bind off until the last one, and then I just have to remove the needle, and then I cut the thread, the yarn. Make sure to leave enough tail for the sewing part, and then put it to the hoop and then just pull it. Now I have the whole piece for my gloves. Next I have to fold it, and I'm gonna need this needle to sew it together. Then I will start sewing. From the top, I will sew for 1.5 inch to until the thumb part, approximately 1.5 inch. There. And then I take the needle off, but I still didn't tie the knot. And I'm gonna start doing the other sewing from the bottom of the glove, from the wrist part. And I will leave the gap between these two sewing around 1 inch for my thumb. I will make sure that it will not too tight, so I wear it, and I'm kind of happy with the gap, so I'm just gonna make the knot here. And then now I cut the rest of the tail off here. One gloves. All I have to do from now is the other side of the girl, the other hand. Now I already have a pair of gloves. It's really warm. It's my first pair. Looks nice. I really love the lip ribbing part because it looks like it has some structure in it. So, and it fits better than the knitting part. I really like it. It's been fun for knitting. I know my video might have a really bad quality because my room is really dark, even though I turn on every light that I have, still too dark. And it's a really good experience, and I have fun making my own pair of gloves. I think I'm gonna do more knitting in the future. Thank you.